It's good for us to gather here this afternoon to share together, to celebrate the life of this special man, James Edward Mangan. We turn to God, who is our beginning and our end, the one who guards our comings and our goings both now and forever, from this time on and forevermore. We gather to share and to seek strength and comfort and courage and solace. We gather as family and friends to celebrate the life of one who called himself an ordinary man, but indeed I think of him as the extraordinary, ordinary man. And I love this writing called The Ride. This is not original, but I think that JEM would smile with us as we share this. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in an attractive and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." Indeed, I think he he enhanced the ride of each one of us on this life's journey. I just recently met him through our hospice program, and he gave us quite a ride as he sought to enter his dying process, and it was a bit of a struggle, but he did it his way, and I think we're all continuing to learn a lot from Jim and his ways. So indeed, this is a celebration of Jim's life today. We're here to celebrate, to grieve his loss, to offer our words of gratitude and thanksgiving and hope, and to release Jim into what is next for him. In honor of him, I have chosen to open us with a prayer that is a Chinook blessing litany that comes from the Chinook Learning Center on Whidbey Island. We call upon the earth, our planet home, with its beautiful depths and soaring heights, its vitality and abundance of life, and together we ask that it teach us and show us the way. We call upon all those who have lived on this earth, our ancestors and our friends, who dream the best for future generations, and upon whose lives our lives are built. And with thanksgiving, we call upon them to teach us and show us the way. We call upon all that we hold most sacred, the presence and power of the great spirit of love and truth, which flows through all the universe, to be with us, to teach us and show us the way. Indeed, I believe that part of Jim Mangan's purpose in this life, and even in his dying, is to teach us and to show us the way. The writer of the Hebrew Scriptures in the book of Ecclesiastes speaks of a time and a purpose for every matter under the heavens. And I've chosen today to read from the Message Bible, which is in a paraphrase version by Eugene Peterson that's really very brilliant. And he speaks in modern language and modern day language, and I just invite you to hear these words. There's an opportune time to do things, a right time for everything on the earth. There's a time to be born, there's a time to die. There is a time to plant and a time to reap. There is a time to kill and a time to heal. There is a time to destroy and a time to construct. There is a time to cry and a time to laugh. There is a time to lament and a time to cheer. There is a time to make love and a time to abstain. There is a time to embrace and a time to part. There is a time to search and a time to count our losses. There is a time to hold on and a time to let go. There is a time to tear out and a time to mend. There is a time to be quiet and a time to speak up. There is a time to love and a time to hate. There is a time to wage war and a time to make peace. God made everything beautiful in itself and in its time. So we are invited to continue to reflect today on the mystery of life and the mystery of death as we honor and pay tribute to one we have loved, whose time it was to move on. And it is our time to mourn that loss, to celebrate that life, to laugh, to cry, to feel whatever it is we feel, and just to be present to all of it, and know that it is all good. James Edward Mangan, Jim's time to die was on October 13, 2011, surrounded by his loving family, with a life full of accomplishments, friends, and purpose completed. Jim's time to be born was on August 17, 1944, in Anaconda, Montana. He graduated from Anaconda Central in 1962 and went on to earn his bachelor's degree from Carroll College and his master's in speech therapy and audiology from the University of Montana, with dual PhDs from the University of Iowa and completion of his postdoctoral work at Northwestern University. While pursuing his education, Jim had a long list of jobs, ranging from building trails for the Montana Forest Service, to setting pins at a bowling alley, to driving a city bus, to bartending across the country. Interesting guy. His time building the Forest Service Trail to Carp Lakes was one of his favorite memories. After completing his formal education, Jim taught at LSU, Billings Central, and Anaconda Central before spending a long career in private practice throughout the Southeast and Northwest United States. The list of people he's helped over his time is endless, and the stories go on. Jim was an avid skier, runner, hiker, sailor, and overall outdoor enthusiast. He was most content and happy exploring and enjoying God's world up close, especially from his boat or his motorcycle. Jim was an avid Packers fan. He loved his Iowa Hawkeyes and even rooted for the Huskies after settling down roots in Seattle. He followed the arts and attended more Nutcracker performances, ballet recitals, and musicals than could be counted. Jim will be watching over his son, Todd Mangan, married to Kimberly, his daughter, Lisa James, married to Jeff, his sisters, Shirley Budd, and Bridget, Peggy Mangan, and her partner, Rosa, and his brother, Tom Mangan, married to Shirley, as well as his 5 grandchildren, Derek Allison, Cameron Mangan, Peyton James, Taylor Mangan, and Carrington James. Jim truly was a good man, a fine friend, a loving father and grandfather, so proud of his grandchildren, a lifelong student and teacher. People gravitated toward him, wanting to be in his presence. He truly made a difference in this life and will continue to make a difference in the lives of his family and friends as you remember him. He will continue to teach us and show us the way.